Welcome, you beautiful, divine, evolutionary galactic spirits. This cycle is 13 days of amazing evolutionary synchronicity, which is one of the major benefits of galactic spirit and tracking these 20 universal birthrights that were recorded in stone and left in stone for us to unlock at this transformational time of our evolving new earth. Now, we have shifted into the time of evolutionary synchronicity that all of the indigenous peoples from the Galactic Mayans and ancient Mayans are left in stone, from the Egyptians, from the Iroquois, from the Sioux, from the Hopi, all Native American, North American as well as South American indigenous people left us, throughout the indigenous peoples of Australia and the Maori, and all of these ancient people have prophesized of this magnificent time of human transformation and a quickening. Remember that word when we talked about the serpent in the last cycle? We are quickening our evolutionary divine alignment if, what's another emoji that we talked about? The human, which we did last cycle. If you are willing, through your free will and free choice. See how I'm trying to take all of the emojis and tie them all together because they are all fractals of each other. And we're going to spend a lot of time on Earth. It's a very exciting one, as all of the 20 fractals of universal evolving consciousness are. Let's get started. I'm Jamie Lynn, your host on Galactic Spirit. And I invite you always to go to galacticspirit.com. There are tons of free offerings, including following the daily energies. So let's talk about where you are right now. Are you on shaky ground, or are you on stable footing? And how are you flowing with the ebbs and flows, in the waters of our earth, in the peaks and valleys of the earth of our earth? And how are you going with the flow and the seasonal cycles that happen with our great Mother Gaia? So she is a great teacher for us. So whenever you think about, are you on shaky ground or are you on level footing, you can always go back to the actual, you're witnessing of what the earth is doing and how she is working and how her cycles work to give you an indication of how you are going to be grounded and how you are going to navigate your synchronicities and your evolving process. Because the whole reason why we're alive, as you remember, is to not only be better today than we were yesterday and be even better than than tomorrow, but to stay in conscious presence and witness the synchronicities that are unfolding with our lives. Now, these synchronicities get better and better and evolve more and more when you start tracking the daily galactic spirit energies, because they are actual keys. That's a good word. They're keys for you to have a look at your exact circumstance that's happening with your life now. Apply the 20 emojis and or the daily energy, the daily galactic spiritual astrology, because it will indicate you have the wind at your sails, in essence, in order for you to look at what energy it is on the day, and you will start seeing relationships between them and evolving more synchronicities. Now, before we continue, I just want to make sure you know what synchronicities are. And synchronicities are those magic moments, or the ahas. Wow, look at the relationship between how I am being in perfect place and time with my divine alignment to meet the right person that I needed to meet at that exact moment where it's going to unfold the circumstance that I wanted. Assuming you're working on your magnetism. Now, we've talked about this. We've talked about the electromagnetic frequencies that are our bodies, that we are ever enfolding and ever increasing that vibration, and we're going to talk about a little bit more after we talk about where we've been and where we are going, but how we are how we can be a magnet based upon how we're raising our vibrations with and connected to Mother Earth in support of our galactic spirit to magnetize and draw in what it is we want to accomplish in our lives. So that's what's in store for us today. We are going to have a wonderful time. And every single galactic emoji, every single one of them is a potent and powerful expression of what you would like to accomplish in your life. And the more you can take our emoji, this cycle of 13 days, and kind of memorize it, whenever you feel on shaky ground or whenever you feel unstable, you can just, wherever you are, you can be in the grocery store, you can drop into this energy by giving us groundedness and divine alignment for whatever that is we want to accomplish. We're going to talk about some other secrets for how to ground yourself, but let's talk about where we have been for starters, because that way you're going to be able to see the cycles and start thinking radially. Most of us humans, we've taught to read word by word by word by word, sentence by sentence by sentence by sentence, walk one foot in front of the other. However, if you think Mother Earth has a really good lesson to teach us with her cycles, that everything works in radial cycles and spins, if you will. Everything always comes back to the place where it started. Seasons do, the moon does as it rotates around the earth, the sun as it rotates, as it hangs in the galaxy and does a 52,000 year cycle, by the way. So every galactic cycle, so everything is rotating. So where are we at this time? We just finished the 52 days of inner resonance and transformation. And just as a reminder, I'm going back to front. We just finished planting seeds. How do you grow your intentions into a mighty tree? And let's go backwards so you see them. There's the seed emoji. Just if you've missed it, go ahead and anchor this. Living your full potential, flowering awareness with ease and grace. Remember, this was the transformational cycle, and we had, before that, we did 52 days of soul evolution and activating and imprinting all of the energies. I'm not going to talk about the individual 13-day adventures at this time, but you can go back and we can look at them and see as we move through each of the days that these are all fractals of each other. And before that, we had the castle of instinctual awareness and initiate destiny. But here at this juncture, we had just finished the cycle to start new with infinite, where we've evolved our infinite consciousness, where you have gone through the entire 260 days. Where's that grid? The 260 days. Here it is, looking at it linearly. 260 days of deepening your conscious awareness. So we are now moving up. Sorry, let's finish where we've been. Remember, I'm doing stream of consciousness here, and don't worry, I always come back. So if we get lost in space, I always come back. Besides, it's kind of good to get lost in space sometime. Why? Because, and here I'm going off on a tangent, but you can stay with me because I know how smart you are. It's really good to get lost in space because that's where galactic spirit happens. That's where change happens. If in fact you wake up every morning and do the same thing every day and you don't make a conscious choice to do something different, your life will stay the same. The whole idea is to step into the unknown and trust that you are moving into the unknown. So as I do these for you, I just trust that the right thing's going to come out, and I kind of have an agenda, but as you know, stream of consciousness is stream of consciousness. All right, so enough about me. Let's go back to you. So now so where we've been in the 52 days of transformation cycle. We just completed, the last one was seed, where you learn how to grow into the mighty tree, like I said, grow your full potential with flowering, ease, and grace. It doesn't matter that we're going backwards, because when you really think about the cycles, it doesn't really matter whether you go backwards or forwards. The whole idea is to anchor each of the emojis into your consciousness when we are in the 13 days, all with the galactic astrology together, because not only are we working independently, we're working in synchronicity with all those energies at our back, and we're all working them together in unity and harmony. And you know that when you have one person vibrating a certain thought, 2 people, it's stronger, 3 people, 4 people, whole communities. I know that I happen to live in the county of Sarasota County, and in Sarasota County there's the big crystalline grid of Siesta Key. It's a beach. And in this beach, it is made of crystalline sand. And we're going to talk about crystals of the earth in a few minutes, but the crystalline beach, and a lot of spiritual people live in the Sarasota community. And what happened, and a lot of people hang out on Siesta Key, where the crystalline beach is. And it's interesting that in community, not one person, not 2 people, not 3 people, not 4 people, but every single time a hurricane comes, the vibration of our neighborhood seems to ward off hurricanes. We have not had a hurricane in forever, and I believe it's because our community works together in unity to push the hurricane away, and often it goes out into the Gulf of Mexico, so it doesn't even hit us. So that's the power of working together. That's a personal story about how I've witnessed working together, but there's been so many studies, such as when a whole big community is meditating, that crime goes down. So it's really, really a good thing to work on these energies together and pay attention to the energies of the day, because in community, in communion, which happens to be one of the days, oh gosh, I'm all over the place. It's okay. Hold what I'm giving you. It's coming down, so I'm supposed to be telling you this stuff. So if in fact I'm giving you a little bit too much information about how all this works, just file it away in your brain. We're going to repeat ourselves over the 20 energies, so you will ultimately get it all. But I just want to remind you that every day is a different micro energy. And right now, like I said before, we are in Earth. So we start off, learning about Earth, and ultimately we start bringing the energies of Earth in our bodies. We start working on galactic alignment, and ultimately day number 11 is all about integrating and dissolving it into wholeness, so it really gets into your consciousness. But in addition, day number 12 is working in community. So here it's personal. And as we move up the ascension spiral of our 13-day adventure, we start moving into community and bringing it out into the world. However, synchronistically, and we are working on that word today, synchronistically, because our galactic astrology, for example, is on the same day and we're all working it together, we are vibrating 1 person, 2 people, 3 people globally. A lot of people practice galactic spirit all around the world. More and more are starting to understand the value of these unlocked Mayan light codes more and more. And we are working them together to harmonize and to make changes in our new Earth. So just as a reminder, as we're going, I want to at least stay on the same thread while we're there, and then we'll come back. So this is the micro wheel. So every day is the different energy, and we're moving around the days, day number 1, day number 2, day number 3, and every single day in Earth is a microfractal of each other. Please go get them for free on galacticspirit.com. But the first day, and we're not going to go over these because we have a lot more to do on what Earth is about. It's a very deep process, but just as a reminder, day number 1 is always the duplication of the energy of the 13-day cycle. So Earth within Earth. Day number 2, going up the ascension spiral, is mirror. Mirror was in the last cycle. Yay. Mirror was in our blue cycle, so you should know all about it. Do you remember what it is? Look how these are fractals of each other. Reflective actualization, endless patterns of self-mastery. So if day number 2 is mirror in Earth, what do you think that means? You're getting it, aren't you? Reflective actualization. How can you look at the reflection of yourself to trust that you're going to be in the right place at the right time, which gets better and better when you start knowing each other, knowing yourself, and mastering yourself more. Let's do that. Let's do another one, just so you're getting it. The next energy of the day, again, get them for free in Galactic Spirit, is day number 3, moving up the ascension spiral. Day number 3 is, that's upside down, always the dots at the top. 3 days, look at that, 3 days, the 3rd day in Earth. Let me show you that in another way. There you go. Where's Earth? 3rd day in Earth. Each one of these means something. We've talked about this in a previous lesson. We're not going to do it now. The 3rd day is all about electrifying, but we will be talking about electromagnetic energies and how that relates to the Earth in a second. But just to go back to understanding how these cycles work, day 3 is the 3rd day, electrifying storm. And you know there's a lot of electricity in the storm to crack the lightning, and to hear that thunder. That's a lot of electricity in storm. So how are you going to break down to break through so you can receive more divine alignment, so you can live in evolutionary synchronicity, so you can be in the right place at the right time, so you can navigate the peaks and valleys, so you can ground yourself to the electromagnetic grid, so you can manifest whatever you want in perfect place and perfect time. You getting how this works? Go ahead and get the energies of the day for all 13 of these days in Earth on galacticspirit.com, and let's really start chewing on what the cycle that we are moving into with Earth. We are moving into, there's Earth, and from the blue castle, we are now in express and manifestation with multi-dimensional coherence. And there we go, Earth. Next up is dog. So stay tuned. Next time we meet, it's going to be all about dog, which is all about love, universal and unconditional acceptance, and love above all else. So just to have a look at that grid where we are right now is, remember, this is looking at it 2-dimensionally, linearly. This is the way heaven and earth works in radial time, in a circle. Seasons work that way, but this way you can really break it down and see where we are. We're in the yellow castle, and the first 13 days is Earth, and there's dog, and we'll talk about the others in the progression as we start expressing and manifesting our multidimensional coherence, as we're working through this evolution of 52 days. Got it? There's your overall lesson of how this works. If you didn't get and understand that it's okay. This is a very brilliant system of radial time that's consistently changing with our own evolutionary process and the evolution of our Earth, but the sequence is brilliantly mathematically designed and developed, and those are the nuggets that I'm sharing with you a little at a time so it doesn't overwhelm you. And what's dropping in for me is the information that I'm supposed to share with you as it happens. One other wrap up on these wheels upon wheels and cycles within cycles. I'm just going to show you again because I love the way this is expressed. Wheels upon wheels upon wheels. Here's our 260 days. These are the energies of the day. This is your galactic astrology of the day. Again, get them on galacticspirit.com. Here are our 20 emojis, and these are the micros of them. The energies are the same. It's just these are inside these, and now we are, like I showed you. So here's the adventures. Here's the keys. I like to call these houses sometimes. So keys to your houses, the 13-day adventure, and then the 52-day castle. So the wheels upon wheels, keys, houses, castles. Okay, we're in the yellow castle now. I'm just repeating myself because I want to anchor these energies and concepts into your head. We're in expression. We're in express and manifest with multidimensional coherence in the earth house, in the earth 13-day adventure with all the micros inside. Okay, wheels upon wheels. So, Jamie, breathe. Take a breath with me, everybody. That's always the hard part. Let's talk about Earth. Earth. What is... I think I was started to talk about what was synchronicity, and I think I might have not gone back to it, so let's get back to it now. What is synchronicity? Again, it's one of the benefits that you will start recognizing when you start tracking all the energies, because you will be able to see more synchronicities in your life if you are observing and you are being witness of how the specific energy relates to what's happening with your life. I think I gave this example last time, but let me do it again. I remember the best synchronicity that I can, and I see them every day, magical synchronicities. And synchronicities are seemingly coincidences of like spontaneous awareness. It's like a aha moment where you are actually magnetizing your magnetic frequency, your electromagnetic frequency is magnetizing the right place and the right time in perfect divine alignment to be drawn to you. That's what synchronicity means. You're bringing these energies to you, and as you witness them start happening, you will start seeing them every day, multiple times a day. This is an example of it. I remember I used to go to these networking things when I was in the corporate world. I never looked like I fit. I always looked like the little hippie chick, and everybody was in their suit and ties and their stockings and their pumps and their three-piece suits and stuff, whether ladies or men. It didn't really matter. I was wearing long skirts, and I always had my pearls on. Anyway, I have to go to these networking events after to drum up business. In my past life, in this lifetime, I was a corporate interior designer. So I definitely know beauty, and I know flowering awareness of the earth and beauty around me. And I sometimes I would target meeting a certain person because I knew that they had a project that I was interested in doing, and instead of beelining my way to meet that person where timing might not have been right, if I set the intention, and that's what I want you to learn how to do with everything you do and every single emoji that we talked about and everything that you want to do in your life, set the intention with electromagnetic heart. We'll talk about that in a second. To bring that energy to bring that energy to you. And every single time when I would do that, without a doubt, without hesitation, at the right place in the right time, the person that I wanted to meet would not have a big circle of other people around them. I would have the opportunity to meet them personally, belly to belly, no other distractions, and setting the intention, yes, whatever project they were working on, usually I got that job, that project. So that is the benefit of starting to recognize your synchronicities that happen in your life, those aha moments. And some might be as obvious than that, but some of them might be a little bit more subtle. Let's say you're in the grocery store and you forgot to pick up your bag of apples, and here you're wandering through the store, and all of a sudden the lady in front of you, the guy in front of you says, "Oh my gosh, I didn't really want those apples, and they look so beautiful, and you can grab them. They were like gifted to you right there." So think about those just as relatively mundane examples, or example that's really going to impact your life in a business situation, or let's say you wanted to meet your beloved, and when do you meet your beloved? You meet your beloved when you set the intention to do so, but you're not necessarily looking for them, which gets to another point, that when you set your intentions, whatever that might be, you have to detach from the outcome. Because when you detach from the outcome is when you don't have any big anxiety about it, or you don't have any stress about it. You live in a place of trust where that energy comes to you. And just as a reminder, trust happens to be one of our emojis. It happens to be the warrior emoji, and I'm probably not going to find that quickly to show you, but I'm not going to do that right now. But that happens to be one. The warrior is all about trust and being brave, and to be brave enough to show up at one of those cocktail parties in the first place, because I was always a little timid to do it, because it was never really fun for me. Okay, so that is about synchronicities and why one of the benefits of Galactic Spirit. And it's so magical to have these aha moments, and the more you observe them and witness them and be grateful for the fact that they're coming into you, the more that you are going to see them happen like rapid fire, because it is really a magical. Another one of our emojis, that was monkey. Where was monkey? I know monkey's right here, because we did it. I was showing it to you. This was part of our blue cycle, which we just finished. Monkey play and joy and having more fun, in your life. So that is why synchronicities are so important to pay attention to. So let's drop into a little meditation on helping you find your divine alignment, so you can start looking at the seasonal cycles of change within yourself. Look how I'm using metaphors for how our earth is always in constant flux, and how being in the new earth, we can actually increase our evolution, not only as on a personal level, but a global level as well. This is the first time in human history, in the 200,000 years, I think that's it, the 200,000 years where humankind has the ability to use our minds and our bodies to shift into the next stage of human evolution. So why don't we talk about that for a second, because it relates to the electromagnetics of our bodies and of the earth. So over the course of what we've been talking about in these in these sessions and the learning about the emojis. We've been talking about on the first day we resonate the first day is magnetize energies in our body, and the third day is bringing the energy into our brain, where ultimately on day 4 we are bringing electromagnetics together, and day number 5 we're resonating it into our heart chakra. So body, mind, heart. Body, mind, heart. So when you think about Earth, and we've done this meditation before where we are feeling the tingles of our bodies, and we're activating our bodies through the electric neurons in our brains with our pineal gland. And by the way, the link to our body, our physical link to our bodies, is we have crystalline particles in our pineal gland, the place of our third eye, the place where we have the highest connection to cosmic consciousness. In addition to the crystals in our brain that connect to the crystalline center of the earth, the crystalline core of the earth, as shown in Siesta Key, Sarasota, we talked about that a minute ago, that, remember the biblical quote, dust to dust, other than the electromagnetic particles of each of our cells, the core molecular structure of our DNA, which is just energy, the same energy that is connected to the divine matrix, that connects you to your divine alignment, is we are earth, we are dust. So we are of the earth through the carbon particles, through the dust particles that we are, and our crystalline grid. And just as a reminder, we are only 4% matter. We're 4% dense matter, just like star particles are only 4% matter, and the rest of our 96% is our energetic light, is our energetic field and our emptiness. And that is why it's so important to travel into the unknown, because we need to activate those dormant parts of ourselves in order to electromagnetically connect to the electromagnetic grid of the earth. Let me say that again. We have a Taurian field around our bodies through this empty space in our structure, the 96% empty space. And this energy, what creates our auric field, is coming around our bodies and going back up to our feet. And as a reminder, it's also going backwards. Well, not backwards. There's no backwards or forwards. It's just around. And it's going in 360 degrees. That is another relationship we have with Mother Earth, because as we have our toric field that's moving in a sphere from top of our head to our bottom of our feet, from the bottom of our feet to the top of our head, there's this exact same Taurian field of electromagnetic frequency that is encircling the earth, and that is our connection from an energetic point of view, from that 96% of the unknown, that electromagnetic frequency. And the higher we vibrate our frequency, the more we align with the Mother Earth, and we will be in greater and greater divine alignment. And that Taurian field goes around the earth, and the whole earth is in the galaxy of the unknown, which we can electromagnetically draw in whatever we want, because we are connected to the divine whole. You want to call it God, you can call it God. You want to call it Galactic Spirit, call it Galactic Spirit. You want to call it the divine matrix, go ahead. Okay? So this electromagnetic connection that we have with planet Earth, that we are made of the same molecular structure as Earth, is what allows us to evolve our divine alignment. So those are the connections of our bodies to the Earth, to our galactic spirit. And in the heavens, in the galaxy, guess what? 4% is matter and 96% is energy. And that is the electromagnetic connection that we're talking about here. So how do we be in flow, in divine alignment? Breathe into this. Be in the perfect place and the perfect time within the dynamic cycles of change. Breathe into that. How are you going to ground? How are you going to stabilize? How are you going to command your vessel, the vessel that is your body, your earth ship? You are in command of your earth ship. And last cycle, we planted seeds into the ground, not only as a fractal of Earth, but our objective is to create our Garden of Eden and heaven on earth. How do you do that? With divine alignment. Breathe into that. With paying attention to the synchronicities, these magical aha moments where you are finding yourself in the right place in the right time. Use the earth as a metaphor. Use the gravitational pull of the earth, the electromagnetic frequencies of the earth's Taurian field, there's your visualization, and connect it to the electromagnetic Taurian field of your body. You will be in perfect time. You will be in the perfect place. The right circumstances will show up exactly when you need them. Remember the catch. Don't think about time. No space, no time, and have no attachment to the outcome. And surely be in gratitude for what you have in the moment, because living in a space of gratitude and compassion and love above all else is what Mama Gaia, it's what the earth wants for you. She wants you to have evolutionary synchronicity, but it comes with you paying attention to what you're receiving. And these lessons of navigation are all about divine causing the effect. Not the cause and effect. This is the new earth. You don't have to be a victim of your circumstance. You can be the ebb and the flow. You can be the peaks and the valleys. The peak is when you're soaring high, and the valley is when you're in self-care. It's not a low. It's in self-care. It's nesting. It's paying attention to the cycles of Earth, or your electromagnetic biocycles, where you need to go inward and in order then to express outward. The Earth is a magnificent self-expression for you to navigate the lessons of your divine causing the effect. Everything that you do every single day is causing the effect of something else. And when you do it through a place of unifying all your birthrights, every 20 of them, yeah, we're focusing on Earth right now, and we're focusing on the micro dailies within Earth right now, to go deeper and deeper into your evolutionary synchronicity. And trusting that you will be able to manifest with your electromagnetism anything that you want. Yeah, there'll be rough times, but that's okay. Those are the lessons that you're supposed to navigate and to figure out and be a reflection of why that's happening and what you need to do to have a look at them. But looking at last cycle, are you going to do it with fun and lightening up and magic, play and joy and spontaneity, and still living your full potential and being a warrior and doing it from a place of love where we're going next cycle? Yeah. Because you're getting so good at being a galactic spirit and holding and anchoring all these energies into you. So you can drop them in at a moment's notice, so they are on demand at your command. It's awesome. You are awesome. You are in command of your Earth ship, who is going to bring yourself into a place of full manifestation and divine alignment with the crystalline grid of the Earth, with the crystalline energy in your pineal, as well as being your dust to dust. Comes, being at the Earth, living, being, very good. Being on living in the Earth at this new Earth time, as this time of very powerful evolution, does come with a responsibility. And this responsibility of the Earth, from the Earth, is about treating our global Earth village properly, with kindness and compassion. And just as a reminder, we talked about this a little bit ago, this is personal energies. We're moving into our heart. We're dissolving day number 1 all the way up to day number 13 in our bodies, in our bodies, pretty much, in our minds, in our hearts, dissolving and then giving that energy away to others. Pulsing that energy out into the world, as we are an electromagnetic pulse that can be pulsing our aura with higher and higher vibrations in order to connect with the pulsing of our galactic field, of our divine matrix, of our galactic spirit, and be able to manifest what we want. The manifestation really should be, with all intentionality, to be purposeful to support everybody's highest and best good. That's the global responsibility. Day number 12, giving it back, pulsing it back into our community. And also, Mother Earth needs us now to really reduce our carbon footprint. So not only are it is our global responsibility to work on recycling, nurturing Mother Earth, helping heal our planet so it sustains humankind. Mother Earth's going to spin whether us humans exist or not, by the way. And if we want to preserve the Earth for our generations, then we need to be responsible. I just really think it's important to do that and to be kind to each other, because that is part of our global human village. And I love how our village has gotten smaller and smaller, because our World Wide Web that the Native American Spider Woman talks about not only has manifested in our third dimensional world through the internet and Zoom calls and us communicating better and deeper. Maybe not so better and deeper, that's the job. That's our responsibility. Not just communicating, but being able to communicate on deeper levels with each other, more loving, more gentle, kinder communications with each other. But Native American Spider Woman not only talked about the third dimensional world of her spider web, World Wide Web, and our interconnectedness, but that is our interconnectedness also with the divine matrix, the universal grid that is ever expanding into the unknown, that 96% of nothingness, that 96% of unknown that keeps on expanding in our universe, that we are connected to with the 96% of empty space within our DNA and our cellular structure. So that is our responsibility. Be kind, be gentle, and do our job to recycle and repurpose in order for us to have Mama Gaia, Mother Earth, here to support our life and our consciousness. So next up, we are going to talk about dog. That's our next cycle, 13 days adventure into dog. Love above all else, expanding your heart resonance, universal love, and unconditional acceptance. So for sure, I love you. From my heart to yours. From my pineal gland with my crystalline energy, which is connected to Mother Earth. I'm connecting to your pineal gland up into our galactic spirit, so we are becoming more and more conscious. And I am another yourself, said in Mayan, in Lakesh. See you next time.